discuss about third lesson of the biology, which is respiration in organisms. Right? In this lesson, we are going to discuss about what is respiration and what are the types of respiration, that is aerobic and anaerobic respirations, and what is the difference between breathing and respiration, and what is breathing and what is inhalation and exhalation, and how do we breathe, and how the breathing happens in other organisms like cockroach, earthworms and fishes, right? And how the respiration happens in plants. These are topics we will discuss in this lesson, right? At first, let's see what is respiration. At first, let's know what is a cell. A cell is the smallest structural and functional unit of any organism, right? Means it is the smallest unit which carries out life processes, right? There are different types of cells for different processes like nutrition, multiplication and etc. Right? Next we will see what is respiration. The nutrients are absorbed from the digestive system, right? These nutrients are broken down within the cell to release some energy is called as cellular respiration. This is about respiration. There are mainly two types of respirations, right? Aerobic respirations and anaerobic respirations, right? Now let's see aerobic respirations. The breakdown of glucose in the presence of oxygen is called as aerobic respiration. Generally, these aerobic respirations are done in our cells, right? This chemical formula takes place. Glucose in the presence of oxygen gives rise to CO2 plus H2O plus some energy. CO2 is carbon dioxide and H2O is water. Right? Next type of respiration is anaerobic respiration. Right? The breakdown of food in the absence of oxygen is known as anaerobic respiration. Means there are some organisms like yeast. Right? These organisms respire anaerobically. Means these organisms can respire in the absence of oxygen. Right? In these organisms, these chemical reaction takes place. Right? Glucose in the absence of oxygen gives rise to alcohol plus CO2 plus gives some energy. Right? Our muscles can also respire anaerobically. Right? During heavy exercise, the demand for the energy for muscles is high. Right? Because the muscles are doing heavy work during heavy exercise. The muscle cells need oxygen to produce energy, but the oxygen supply is limited. So they respire anaerobically in the absence of oxygen. Right? This chemical reaction takes place. Right? Glucose in the absence of oxygen gives rise to lactic acid plus energy. Right? In the anaerobes, the glucose is breaking down to form alcohol and energy in the anaerobic respiration organisms, right? But in our muscles, glucose is breaking down to form lactic acid and energy. Due to this lactic acid, after the heavy exercise, we get muscle cramps, means muscle pains. This is about the topic, the types of respiration. Next, we'll see about breathing. Breathing means taking in air rich in oxygen and giving out air rich in carbon dioxide. Right? This is called breathing. And taking in air is called as inhalation. Right? And giving out air is known as exhalation. Right? Clear? Then what is the difference between breathing and respiration? Respiration is nothing but the breakdown of food to give some energy is known as respiration. But the breathing is taking in air rich in oxygen and giving out air rich in carbon dioxide is known as breathing. Right? This is the major difference between breathing and respiration. This is about breathing. Next, how do we breathe? When we inhale air which is rich in oxygen through our nostrils, the air reaches the nasal cavity. From the nasal cavity, the air directly reaches our lungs through windpipe. Right? In the lungs, the oxygen is taken into our body and carbon dioxide is given to lungs. The carbon dioxide rich air is sent to nasal cavity through the windpipe, and the nasal cavity sends out the carbon dioxide rich air through our nostrils. This is how we will breathe, right? Breathing involves the movement of ribcage and diaphragm. Ribcage looks like this. Ribcage is a cage-like structure in which the lungs are located. Means the lungs are located inside the ribcage, right? Diaphragm is nothing but a thick muscle which is located just below our lungs, right? During inhalation, the ribs move outward, right? The ribs move outward and the diaphragm moves downward. Due to this, the low pressure is created on the lungs. Due to this low pressure, the lungs need to take air so that the lungs take air from our nostrils, right? Next, during exhalation, the ribs move inwards and the diaphragm moves upwards. Means a high pressure is created on the lungs. Due to this, the lungs need to give out air through our nostrils. This is how we will breathe. Next, we will see what is the percentage of oxygen and carbon dioxide in inhaled air and exhaled air. Right? In inhaled air, the percentage of oxygen is 21%. Right? The means in inhaled air, the air is rich in oxygen, and in inhaled air only, the carbon dioxide percentage is 0.04%. In inhaled air, there is some quantity of carbon dioxide. It is too small that it is 0.04%. Right? In exhaled air, the percentage of oxygen is 16.4%. Means it is somewhat lesser than the oxygen which is in inhaled air. Right? In exhaled air only, the percentage of carbon dioxide is 4.4%. Means it is much higher than the carbon dioxide in inhaled air. Right? In exhaled air, the air is rich in carbon dioxide. This is for today's class. In next video, we will discuss about respiration in other organisms and respiration in plants.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. See you in next video. Bye bye.